Alright guys, let's do this. So, we'll call the heads, and there will be heads, so I can go first. Let's take a look at the opening hand. So, my opening hand is gonna be no basic Pokemon. On the other side, looks like it's a Garchomp fighting deck. If it's a Garchomp, oh my gosh, I have nightmare from the Garchomp. I can simply beat Garchomp with this build, I guess. I mean, in theory, I can, but it's just a theory and nothing else. So, starting with the one Raikou here, and my opponent managed to snap that basic Pokemon, which means my top deck is just a Mareep. There is one Energy and one N. So, and for a couple more cards, there's a Fluffy, there's a Ultra Ball, there's a Trainer's Mail. So I'm thinking about playing my Ultra Ball here, you know, discarding two Lightning Energies, taking all in here, getting myself Remoraid on the bench, and pretty much passing my turn. Why pass the turn without playing Trainer's Mail? Because maybe my opponent just decide to basically end me. Okay, so there's a Focus Sash. He missed the opportunity to attach energy. I'm going to play my Trainer's Mail for another N. Alright, at least I can put my Fluffy in play and play my N. So with the N I can get 6 new cards. Well, there's an Ultra Ball for Artillery, definitely like that. But more than that, I need those Dynamos so much. So much I need them. So Ultra Ball for Sycamore and Hexmaniac. So I can get myself Artillery for that extra draw with a Beazle Hand. There we go. 3 cards with a Beazle Hand. I don't like the fact that he had that Focus Sash attached. And I also don't like the fact that I still didn't get single Dynamo. I don't need any more Mareep. I don't need 2 Amphiroses, that's for sure. I need only 1 Ampharos, and I actually need that teammate so badly that you guys won't believe in that. There's a Trainer's Mail, so with the Trainer's Mail, oh, nice. There's a Level Ball, so I can get myself 1 Dynamo in play, which is very important. There we go. 1 Dynamo, unfortunately, second one is prized, but at least there's 1 other line in play, and I'm going to pass my turn. That's pretty much it. Unfortunately, can't do more than that, but what I can do is next turn go with my Thunderlance for a lot of damage counters. On the other side, in theory, he can go for with the Garchomp and Strong Energy 100. Oh my goodness, 160. That's enough for the one hit now against my Raikou with 2 energies. That would be just completely devastation for me, I guess. Even right now it is. Even right now it is. I mean, I'm playing against weakness, and I'm thinking how I'm not going to be able to win this. Well, there's one Never Enough. There's one Never Enough for the Fighting Stadium in exchange for 2 more cards. Before I decide to go with my Juniper, want a Beazle Hand. That's interesting. That's kinda interesting. I'm going to Lysander actually his Gable here without Focus Sash because I'm hoping to find maybe somehow, you know, Rare Candy, not the card I was looking for, but I'm looking maybe for that Starling Megaphone so I can just, you know, discard both Focus Sashes attached on his Gables. Well, there's just another Never Enough. Okay, I have a little luck here, but, you know, once my opponent actually managed basically to set up properly, I'm definitely going to be in a very bad spot. So, 1 Professor Juniper, it's not a Sycamore, it's a Juniper for 7. So, there's Electric and XP share, which is not that bad, I guess. More than that, I can just use 1 Dynamotor, which is definitely gonna go down to my Fluffy. And yeah, I can strike with my Thunderlands, but you know, just for the 50, because he had that focus sash and his Gable will actually survive. So it's my opponent's turn. He's still looking for that first Garchomp. Once he can get that Garchomp into play, oh my Raikus are just going to fall one after another, and this is just going to be painful to watch. Right now, it's actually painful to watch my opponent having trouble fighting that Garchomp, but he managed to get it, Professor Sycamore, and I can see myself right now in a very, very bad position. So there's one Carbon Break, and heck, he can even use that Power Gem or Diamond Gift with the Carbon Break and strike for so many damage counters. It looks like he might gonna do that, or maybe not. Yep, he just decided to do that, and now with another Focus Session, another Gable, so Diamond Gift for 40, actually 20, because I do have that Shining Body. However, I can one-hit knock out his Carbink, at least that's something. Oh nice, there's a Flowstone. Okay, I really like that. One more energy down to my Raikou. This is going to be one Dynamotor, which is going to go down to my Raikou number 2. More than that right now, it's just a good question. Should I maybe go with my Lysander, or I should maybe just knock out his Carbon here? Because of just one thing. I'm not going to be able to one-hit knock out his Garchomp if he will have that Focus Sash attached to it. So I'm somehow thinking about getting that Lysander and dealing some damage to his Gable. Makes more sense to me. And it might make more sense if this is a Fluffy with Paralyze ability, but it's not, so I can just use my Thunderlands here, strike for 110. Again, he will just have 50 damage on it. So at least next turn I can knock him out with my Raikou, which is the most important thing. There's Corina, of course, right now for the Rare Candy Garchomp. Finally, he managed to get Rare Candy Garchomp, but the worst thing is that he can also do that on another Gable down to the bench. And there's a Crushing Hammer, which is actually a big deal, but not that big deal since I have Electric in play. Oh, I don't have actually any more Electric in play. I just used to evolve into my Electros. Totally forget that this is not the Break Evolution, guys. Okay, never mind for that. Never mind for that. Things happens. Weakness 140, boom, just knocked down like that. At least I can bring one energy down to my Raikou. More than that, more than that, more than that, my friends. More than that, I really need top deck, and I managed to get one top deck, so I'm going first with my Beazle hand for another level ball, but the problem is that I don't have another Dynamo in my deck. But at least I can see if I have one more V-Seeker left, and the answer is yes, I have it in my hand. So, what to do next? Basically, I'm just looking forward, you know, to knock him out with my Thunderlands, and hope that he might not be able basically to evolve down back to his Garchomp. Unfortunately, that Electros actually cost me a little bit, but still I can Crash and Burn. Well, there's just another Carbon Break, and that Carbon Break is going to be knocked out, but still I need to deal with that Focus Sash somehow. I didn't see Starving Megaphone in my deck, so it's definitely very painful. There's a Muscle Band, and oh, N. Okay, so he played that N. Okay, there is Ampharos and Fighting Fury Belt and the Trainer's Mail. I really miss second copy of my Elekid, not an Elekid, but of the Dynamo and Electric in play. I shouldn't rush with my Electros. I don't even know why I did that. I did that. So he can retreat and knock me out with his Garchomp, and he actually looking forward to do that. So the moment of truth, I need to hit tails on the coin flip with my Ampharos next turn with that Gigavolt, because this is the only thing that I can actually somehow knock out his Garchomp. But then the second Garchomp will just came from nowhere and knock me out. So Turbo Assault for 140. Unfortunately, Raikou is knocked out. one more strong energy attached to his Gable, and as I mentioned it, once those Garchomps became active Pokemons and they became they just came with the energies, it's just hard to beat them. Yeah, I will just get myself, you know, a teammates here, so I can basically grab any two cards that I really want. What I really want here is my Raikou and that last energy card, so I can at least try to do something here, but I think this is pretty much gonna be it. I think this is pretty much gonna be it. I mean, I can even get myself a Beazle hand, you know, why not? But I need tails on the coin flip. Oh, it's a heads. So unfortunately, this game is over because of those Focus Sash. This card is just so powerful. If you can't get rid of the Focus Sash, you simply can't beat your opponent. There is no way you can actually one-hit knock out those Garchomps with the Focus Sash on it. I mean, it's just way too hard to knock them out. It's just way too hard to knock them out, and I mean, that turn with the Electros was a big miscall, but it is how it is, and I can just concede, I guess, but unfortunately, I never do that, so I'm not looking forward to do that. Okay, so my turn, just another electric, so I guess I can just deck out myself here, Battle Compressor, you know, for 3 cards, and then I can Ultra Ball. I don't even need to play Professor Juniper. I mean, I can just the Beazle hand, you know, so I can deck out myself before my opponent actually managed to get all prize cards. So a Beazle hand for 3, and I can't play my Juniper. I mean, I can, but I don't have nothing to drop. So I can just say my opponent well played and pass my turn. I mean, this deck is actually made to play against EX decks. It's not made to play against non-EX decks because hitting non-EX decks is just hard, especially against those Garchomps who actually can strike for the weakness. But it is how it is. Definitely always a lot of fun playing expanded format, especially with those stage decks.